Oh, who's
I
this?
will. Ah, another
Andre, you can
Jessie?
unmute yourself. This is my assistant.
I'm confused.
We're sisters.
Ah, you're like twin?
My twin.
Okay. So,
Thanks. See you later. Cheers. Cheers to tea and talk. Thanks for having me. Boop.
okay, let's start then.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, Jessie, to the session today. I would like to say hi to everybody who is following our page. My name is Kim. Welcome, Jessie, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here in Madagascar?
My name is Jessie Jordan, as you may know. I'm 31 years old now. I'm an American. I've been in Madagascar on and off for over 3 years now. I'm an artist. I am a creative. I specialize in wildlife conservation and sustainability. That's my passion. So I started working at Centerville Bio in Ranomafana. If you don't know, it's a really cool research station just
Yes.
on the edge of the national park. I'm sure a lot of you are in Fianarantsoa, so you've been here before. Maybe you've been to the park, but maybe you haven't visited the research station. But they have some amazing things happening in here with education, community health, biodiversity research. If you haven't been, you should take a tour here. So I'm living in Ranomafana. I'm getting really into doing media stuff and communication and storytelling for wildlife and conservation.
You work in Ranomafana, which is one of the best place in Madagascar because
In the
I've been there and
world. I
I
think
like
honestly it's
stay
one of
there
my favorite
in the
places in
world.
the world. Yeah. And people
Yeah.
people here
So
don't even realize how special it is. You have animals and plants that you cannot find anywhere else in the world. It's an amazing place and I feel so grateful to be here. So actually, I was a graphic designer at a zoo in the United States in Florida. Dr. Patricia Wright came and did a talk. She's the founder of the research station Centerville Bio, and she discovered the golden bamboo lemur, which is here in Ranomafana. And she did a talk and it was super inspiring. And we met afterwards and we did some talking. She said, come to Madagascar. You can stay at the research station for 6 months in exchange for creative services like graphic design, illustration, marketing, social media posts. I was excited and I booked a plane ticket and the rest is history. I just keep coming back.
very nice. You are very tamana.
What's Tamana?
Taman is a Malagasy word to say like you don't want to go home, go back to United States anymore. You
Oh,
you
I
are
love it
Tamana.
here.
We are talking about wildlife and conservation. Do you have a background in conservation?
Ever since I went to university, I decided that I really want to be in the field of wildlife conservation as a creative. I don't have like a science background. It's always art, painting,
Oh,
illustration,
yeah.
storytelling. But I've always worked alongside scientists and biologists and researchers. It goes hand in hand,
So
art
it's
and science. You need art to explain science and science to inspire
mhm,
art.
so complementary, right?
Yeah.
So
So
it's not your first time
no, it's not my
to
first
work in the
time.
conservation sector.
In 2015, I went to Namibia and I did some work with the Cheetah
Ah,
Conservation Fund, which is really amazing. They do a lot of research with cheetahs and working with the communities too. So that was where I first learned about working with communities and conservation.
yes, yes. I can see like from what you do in Ranomafana as well because you are helping community a lot with the local guides. You are doing like a very incredible work there. So tell us more about the biodiversity in Ranomafana. What can we find there?
Obviously, lemurs, bamboo lemurs.
Yeah.
There's 3 species that you can find here. This is the gentle gray bamboo lemur. They are very shy, so you'll be very lucky if you see them. And if you do see them, they might just disappear into the bamboo. We have the golden bamboo lemur. This is their range. So
Mhm.
you can actually only find these in Ranomafana National Park and then also in Ndrinkacha, which I think you went there, right?
Ah,
Recently.
yeah. We went to Andring, but we didn't see any lemurs. We just
Uh,
went to the summit of the mountain. I wish I could see some lemurs, but I we didn't actually.
well, I have a friend who went there recently and he saw ringtails,
Oh,
but it's kind of
okay.
rare to see them. But you can see them from
That's
that
rare.
that area.
How many species of lemurs in Ramafan?
There's 12, but actually there's a 13th species of mouse lemur. It hasn't been published yet, but apparently it's confirmed. These guys are my favorite. They're
Okay.
really loud and cute and fluffy. They
Uh-huh.
require pristine rainforest. They need the untouched trees, native
Untouched.
trees to survive. So it's really important that we protect their habitat. Now is actually a good
You,
time if you want to see them in Talitakeli, which is the tourist trail circuit. They're on the trails right now. Oh, we have like this cute little guy.
yep.
They're nocturnal and they live in
Ah,
these they
yes.
live in hollows of trees. This is sportive
Spotted
lemur?
lemur.
Yeah, leopard lemur.
Ah, behind you, can you talk about the gecko?
Yeah, so this is a mossy leaf-tailed gecko. They are the masters of camouflage.
I can spot. I can spot.
Yeah,
This
go.
is the Aeroplatis fantasticus, I think.
They're actually licking their eyes because they can't clean their eyes by blinking. They don't have
Ah,
eyelids, so they have to clean their eyes by licking them.
it's beautiful.
Okay, so this is cool. I thought my favorite animal was the black and white ruffed lemur, but I'm pretty sure the Fusa fusana. This is a carnivore, very
Ah,
shy. It's so beautiful.
do they have it in Ranomafana?
Yep, yeah, so we filmed this when we went camping inside the park, and he showed up at the campsite. He's looking for insects, frogs. We were so lucky. Like when he first
But
came out of hiding, he was very shy, and we had to be
okay,
super quiet. And like any tiny little sound, he would run away. But later in the night, we heard
okay,
him, and we shined the flashlight, and he was actually jumping and hunting frogs. It was so cool to see.
okay. So he's not attacking lemurs, right?
I don't know. Like, maybe
I don't
maybe
know.
he would go after baby lemurs if there was an opportunity, like maybe if it fell on the ground. But I think this guy hunts mostly rodents, like
Okay,
rats.
okay.
Very beautiful animal.
It's my first time to see it.
Yeah,
I went to the national park many times, but I've never seen
you have to go camping there to see it. Yeah, I highly recommend going camping. It's amazing. The sounds, the
it. Yeah,
air,
for
the
sure, next
wildlife.
time.
Oh, here he is scent marking. He's actually marking his territory here. Super cool. Do you see the animal here?
I don't know, Brucasia.
Yeah. So this is a little ground chameleon. He's very good at
Oh, what?
camouflage too. You can see he's moving. Very tiny. These guys are like only this big, and they live on the trails.
Wow.
He looks so grumpy. He's like, "You found me."
Seems like dead leaves. They are similar to dead leaves, and you cannot find them.
Right. But we have I think 15 species of chameleons here. Tanalahi?
Chameleons. Yeah,
Tanalahi.
Tanala.
Yeah. This is the Oshognis chameleon. This is a male. So you can tell from the males and the females because the males usually have these horns. They do. When they're mature, they have these fighting horns so they can compete for the ladies. They change
Wow.
color very fast. So you can see he's turning brown here because he knows that we are looking at him, so he's trying really hard to blend in. But look at those eyes. So those eyes, they can move independently of
It's
each other.
like 360 degrees of movement. Chameleons is like almost everywhere in the national parks, even next to the town. I
Yeah,
saw
actually.
many of them in the town, next to the house, almost everywhere.
That's good. 50% of the world's species of chameleons are in Madagascar. So you can find them on
Oh,
continental Africa, but a lot of the species are found here in Madagascar. And we have the smallest species in the world, which is like tiny Brookesia. It's like this big.
yes,
I think that's,
like a
yeah,
nail size.
it's found somewhere up in the north. I don't know. I don't know where exactly, but it would be cool to see that one day. Also, a lot of this footage was filmed by our guide Diamundra. So he has a really nice macro
Mm.
lens, and so he helped film a lot of this really amazing footage of the wildlife for our virtual tours. Oh, do you know what this is?
Yeah, it's even harder to spot this kind of. So this one is what is this?
He's so
Tenrec?
angry. Yeah, very angry, trying to defend his or her territory. He's like, "Get off of my yard!" They eat insects,
Uh-huh.
so you might see them in your
Mm.
garden. I think there's 27 species of tenrecs, and tenrecs are also found nowhere else. Does anybody
Okay.
have questions? You can comment a question, and we will try to answer in the comments afterwards. Look at this frog. This is Tassimena, Bufus tassimena. It's got red spots.
Mm.
Beautiful colors.
Yeah,
Over 100 species. I'm getting familiar with my geckos, my frogs, my reptiles, and amphibians. Look at that eye.
yeah, so colorful.
Yeah.
I remember when I did like a nocturnal visit just by the road at night. We have spot like many kinds of frogs.
This was filmed at the bridge to get to the hot springs. So you can find lots of frogs along the river. There's actually a citizen science project, at least in the United States. I don't know about other parts of the world, but it's called Frog Watch. You go
Frog
out
watch.
and you listen for the sounds of frogs and you record your observations so that we can know
Mhm.
more about frog populations around the world. So anybody can
Mm.
take part in that. So you learn the sounds of the different species of frogs, which I think we have at Centerville Bio and at the Communication Center. If you're interested in learning more about the frogs here, you can go to the research station or the telecommunications center in the market. You can learn more about the bird calls, the frog calls. I'm still learning. There's just so many species. And then we also have the mantella here. Do you know why its colors are so bright? Kim, are you frozen? I think we lost Kim. This is a mantella, so they have their bright patterns because it means don't eat me, I'm poisonous. So look at that. Ah, oh, so beautiful. Also learning about these geckos. I'm not familiar with all the species right now, but this is a peacock day gecko, and I think we have 3 species of day geckos here in Ranomafana. You can tell the different species based on their side markings. So this guy has a black spot, and some species have like a black marking all the way down their side. Oh yeah, so this is a different species, you can see. Don't ask me the species name. I'm going to learn all the geckos here. And then the males, they usually have very bright blue tails, and the females are a little bit smaller. Okay, here is a red belly lemur. These are in the eulemur family. So that's a male right here with the white markings, and then this is a little female. Super cute. And then this is the female. The female has the white belly. These guys are seed dispersers, so they will eat fruits and then fertilize the seeds in their droppings, and they're like natural reforestation agents. This is a really rare bird. You'll be very lucky if you see this. Very shy. You have to wake up early in the morning usually to see these guys. This is a pygmy kingfisher, endemic to this area, lives deep in the forest. One of my favorite animals here. And this is the pedalite ground roller. Hey guys.
Which species are specific to Ranomafana National Park? I mean, endemic.
The most specific one is the golden bamboo lemur, which you can only really find in Ranomafana National Park and in Drinkacha, which makes sense because they used to be connected forests before it was deforested and turned into farmlands. They're amazing creatures. They're the only primates known to eat bamboo like this. What's your favorite national park?
My favorite national park is Anjingcha, with the hikes, like going up to the mountain and the cold water, camping, going up to the second highest peak of Madagascar. It's an amazing experience, like the conservation effort
Yes.
that people in Ranomafana do, what they do lately, what are they doing on like the conservation from the COVID-19.
Yeah. I have personally been working with the tour guides of Ranomafana. There's over 50 guides in the association. So we did some fundraising and we started this program where we took all the local schools into the national park. Everybody wore masks and we had hand sanitizer and snacks, and I feel like the guides are really the best teachers to teach about the local wildlife and the importance of the rainforest.
I agree.
So this is one of the guides here. They're taking notes in their notebook. A lot of these kids, it was their first time into the forest. So I got to see them be really excited. And we also did some artwork. So at the end of their hikes at the entrance, they got to draw their experience. So this guy drew the river, the trees, and the animals that he saw. It would be good to take them at least once a year and incorporating that in the education somehow, measuring trees, rainfall, the temperature. You can record that and then see how everything's changing over the seasons, over the years. Actually, Centerville Bio has been doing this research for 30 years now, and they're studying the rainfall and how that affects the trees and the fruiting seasons. It doesn't just affect the lemurs, it affects us too. You guys remember the lychee season last year? It was super short. We didn't get to enjoy the full season. And I think that's
Yeah.
because of climate
So
change.
so as you're talking about climate change, how is Ranomafana experiencing the climate change? Do you feel it there?
Yes, it's really hazy right now. There's a lot of fires around the park. It's just getting very hot. It feels very hot really early this year to me, and less rainfall. We're starting to get power cuts again, which is normal around dry season this time because we rely on the hydroelectric power. So when the river
Yeah.
starts getting low, the power starts getting cut. And I know we have
Yes.
Ranomafana has the same electricity as Fianarantsoa, so just
Yes.
because you're in the city doesn't mean that the forest doesn't matter to you, because that is your electricity. So we need to protect the trees.
Yes, agree. Definitely,
100%
definitely
agree with
right.
that statement. So, Jessie, after like some years in Madagascar, what do you think we need to do to conserve the biodiversity and the environment in Madagascar?
Visiting the national parks, learning about all the local wildlife, and talking to everyone, getting ideas about little things that you can do in your life that are good for the environment. Thinking about your cooking fuel, where does your charcoal come from? Where does your food come from? Is it sustainable? All of our little actions every day build up. So we all need to work together to protect the rainforest. And if you can, do some tree planting. Think about how many trees does it take for me to cook a meal, cooking every year. How many trees do you use? Maybe try and replant that many trees if you can every year. That will help at least. That's just one idea. What do you think we need to do?
About the energy, I would say like 95% of the Malagasy households use charcoal or firewood in their household. So how can we supply energy for the household? If we can find something else, I don't know what. We are still looking for it as at my association, but we need to find like another alternative fuel to replace those charcoal and firewood. The statistic says that more than 95% of the Malagasy household use biomass like wood or charcoal to cook their meals.
Maybe it's not possible to make like this 90% of Malagasy to stop using firewood or charcoal, but we can reduce. And there should be as well like a very sustainable solution to bushfires, like very big deal here. Like recently, I think it was in Carafans National Park, who was recently burned. And the fire lasts for 5 days, as I noticed on the Facebook, which is very, very sad. We should intensify the tree plantation and the reforestation project. We work together, every citizens doing small actions.
Right. And it doesn't matter what you do, like whatever your job is, you can be a conservationist. We need help from people who are experts in all different kinds of fields.
Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jessie, and thank you, Andre.
It was very great talking to you too. I hope we get to do this again. Peace and love. Bye.